Everyone, it's String, and today's live is about LinkedIn, specifically how to improve your LinkedIn profiles. I'm going to pick 2 or 3 and a few others who are watching as well. So if you love for me to audit and analyze your LinkedIn profile to improve on it, comment below and say me, or share your LinkedIn profile, tag someone. And I find that the way that LinkedIn Live or live stream works, I'm using Restream to push out to multiple platforms like LinkedIn, YouTube, and my Facebook group, The Trusted Voice, is that you need to push it out, and it takes about 1 minute to warm up and let people know that this live stream exists in the first place. So if I love it, I love it. If you comment below and say hi, and also mention where you're watching from. And if you happen to be watching the replay, if you write #replay, it kind of informs me, actually it really informs me. And shout out to Richard for sharing this technique. If you write #replay, it kind of lets me know that you're watching the replay of it as well. So where are you watching from? If you love to have a update or want to know how to be effective on LinkedIn, this is the stream for you, because we're going to talk about LinkedIn profiles. So one of the things that I noticed about with LinkedIn profiles is that there are over 650 million users, maybe more now because it's rapidly growing. The top 3 countries are USA, India, and China. But even though there are 650 million users, I find that they don't know. I shouldn't say don't know. I find that we're not using LinkedIn more effectively, even though there are so many awesome people here, like smart people here as well. So I find that what can we do to market ourselves better? With COVID-19, it's really important. I feel like it is, because LinkedIn has given me so many opportunities that I find that we need to know how to use LinkedIn effectively so we could find business, find opportunities to stand out, right? So this stream is pretty much focusing on how can we make our LinkedIn profiles better. So I'm going to pick, if you want your profile to be updated or to get an audit from me, I love if you comment below to say me, so then I could pick a person, anyone, and think about how we can make your LinkedIn profile better. So I've specifically have 3 profiles already lined up. 2 of them are from my trusted circle, the members of my membership program, where I help them brand better and use LinkedIn properly. But I love to add other people in the lineup as well. So feel free to comment below and say, hey, I love String. I love it if you audit my profile. And I'm happy to do that because I do it all the time. All right, Crony, you do MBA. So, okay. Comment below. I'm happy to share that. I'm actually using a different way of doing live streams. As you probably notice, it's kind of fancy what I'm doing, right? It's way of me just to test out, because I've been testing out LinkedIn Live, and I feel like it hasn't really pushed my boundaries in terms of creating content. So I've learned other ways, because I'm growing my YouTube as well. I thought what is the most effective way for me to use LinkedIn Live but do live streaming, because I could be really lazy with editing. So I thought, why not do live streams and help others along the way? So yeah, it's totally flashy, and I find that when I first started doing my live streams and I'm using other tools, I didn't have the right setup. It kept on crashing, so I totally gave up. But Synchronously, it's amazing when you give yourself time. And then I tested out the programs again, that I felt more familiar with it. So I always say, when you're doing videos or live streams, that you don't give up, because the first time you do it, you feel like you epically fail. But every time you do a video or live stream, try to do one thing to improve on it and create a habit of improvement. So that's what I've noticed, is that 3 months ago, when I was last year when I was testing out live stream, it didn't work out for me. And then 3 months ago, I went back onto live stream. I feel like it didn't work out for me, but I kept on upgrading my tools, have lighting, the framework, the graphics, and I feel like I know my shit now, which is kind of ironic. So I find that the more you don't give up, the more you get better at things, I find. Oh, thanks. So Kuroni, I'm gonna put you as a lineup of my thing. So I love it if you copy and paste your LinkedIn profile URL, because that will help me like pick you as well. Again, I'm going to do 3 or 4 profiles and show the best practices of what LinkedIn is working on. And if you want me to like update your LinkedIn profile, I love it if you comment below, share what your thoughts are. Also, feel free to like comment and share your thoughts on how others can improve on their LinkedIn profile. Again, 650 million users, and I don't feel like we're using LinkedIn effectively. So I'm just hoping that these live streams, these audits will help you improve so you make the most of these tools. And I find that you have to be active on social platforms to make the most of it as well. So I noticed one thing. If you notice if I use the word so, can you tell me and joke around string? You said so again, because I noticed that's like where people use and ahs, I use the word so as a way to think about things and segue into things. But I find that if I want to prove my video skills, I definitely need to remove the word so as my segue or my tick. Okay, now we're ready. Thanks, Kromo. I'm going to call you Kieran from now on, because Australians are known for destroying words and names, and we like to shorten names, but I'm going to call you Kieran, not because you know, phonetically Kieran sounds better, but also it makes it easy for me to like call you out as well. Hi Kyle, it's been a while. All right, you're gonna be my 4th person today, Kieran. And one question, how do you want to position yourself? All right, I'm gonna pick, we're gonna do profiles. I find that a lot of times when we do profiles, there's an order that I go and think about. And I'm going to pick 1, 2, 3. I'm using myself as an example because I do believe that I have the best practices. 4, and I'm going to add 1 more. So if you, along the way, if I see any interesting profiles, I'm happy to audit your profile as well. But you need to like make sure that you, like, to participate, you need to drop in your LinkedIn URL below. And if not, oh, and Matry, okay, 350, technical support, thanks. Anyone else as well? Senior, looking for a new position, so you're looking for a job. All right. What, crew? How do you Matry, for the person adding Matry, again, I'm going to call you mine. Don't blame my Australianness, not the way I say names, but I'd love to know, how do you want to position yourself? I think I'm going, yes, but chuck in below. I don't know who I'm going to like pick, but the more the profiles, the more I could like help. For some reason, Kyle, your LinkedIn URL did not work. So does that mean that they don't want me to audit your profile, Kyle? All right, catch Kyle. Be careful what, oh, there you go, catch Kyle, thank you. Okay, comment below, and you know, we learn better when we share and comments and thoughts about how to improve. So first impressions really make a difference, right? So what is your first impression of Michael's profile? Like, first impressions is what we need to consider and when we convey our strategies as well. I always think about strategically, how do you want to position yourself? Like, if you don't know how do you want to position yourself, you should check out my 7 V's on the trustedvoice.co website. My 7 V's of framework is like, of personal branding is, what is your vision? What is your values? What is your vocals? Who are your vocals folks? Who are your, what's your visuals like? Your voice, you know, what do you want? What kind of content do you want to convey? What message do you want to convey? Validation means like metrics and goals. I'm a marketer, of course I want to know if I'm succeeding or not, and if I'm growing or not. And victory, how do you monetize this? Whether it be finding a job, like Kieran wants to find a job. How do you monetize? And, you know, because at the end of the day, we're all business people and professionals. So we need to think about how do we monetize, whether it be our knowledge, whether it be like finding clients, finding business, like there is some kind of like KPI or victory for us that we want to consider as well. And a lot of times, like because of COVID-19 right now, we have to think about developing side hustles or income streams because we don't know if our job will survive the next day. The irony is that if you're not there's two side effects, but for now I'm just talking about Michael. Like Michael's first impressions, like what is your first impressions of Michael? He happens to be pretty authentic. Oh, he'll like that. So Michael Lee happens to be one of my members of the Trusted Circle. So I know he's 7 Vs because he sent that before to me. So then I could give him a better critique of his profile. And he has a really big goals, and he wants to be pretty authentic as well. He happens to be an owner of Great Auntie 3. He's a restaurant owner and a restaurant entrepreneur, but he doesn't really get conveyed inside this. Like if you scroll down, like I'm afraid of speed bumps, but he's all about mindset as well, but it's not being conveyed because at the moment he's in the early stage of conveying his vision. And for him, he asked like, String, should I be on LinkedIn? And I thought, for now, like, is your Vokes on LinkedIn or not? But I'm going to audit his profile because I got his 7 Vs recently. So he's a restaurant owner, but he doesn't say that. So that kind of means like I always think about 7 things when 5 things actually. It's like, wouldn't know about it. Yeah, we don't know if he's a restaurant owner because he doesn't convey that. He's all about mindset. He wants to attract people with values. But I find that it's because of LinkedIn, the way LinkedIn works is that LinkedIn is actually, if Google is an index of information, LinkedIn is an index of professional people. So job title really makes sense in terms of discovery as well. Bright did not get the rest. Yes, I know. We do not know that he's a restaurant owner, and he should convey that because he has a powerful story about his mom and stuff, but he doesn't really convey that. So if anything, the first thing I will do is like first impressions. Do I convey quickly how I want to position myself? Like if you look at my profile example, you kind of know that I'm helping other businesses. I'm like the go-to person, the trusted voice for LinkedIn and personal branding. That's my first impression. I probably have to update my banner to say that, hey, if you want to know anything about LinkedIn, if you want to know about personal branding, if you want to know how to monetize, you should follow me, right? So that's the first impression. You probably should think about like, is your banner, which acts like your advertising board, does it promote whether it be your product, your business, the work that you want to convey, that you want to find a job? Is that being conveyed? If not, then think about first impressions. First impressions are these 3 assets. Your profile pic, like, are you relatable? It kind of like the fact that I have orange on the background shows that I am a visual person. I have contentions and debate about wearing a hat and saying fried chicken on my brand. And I find that interesting because that is on brand, but also does it show professionalism? Probably not, but I'm not looking for a job. I'm not looking to get employed. If anything, I'm trying to attract a certain type of people who want to be outliers, who want to be out there. So this is like a strategic point of view to say, hey, I know my brand, right? Going back to Michael, profile pic is great. It's really clear. It's actually a really good profile pic. If anything, I try to be closer and zoom into the face because when we look at our pictures like this, it kind of shows that we get smaller, so we need to stand out. And I deliberately use orange as a way to stand out because I notice a lot of people go for bland colors. Oh, another way to audit and know if you are strategically positioned properly is how people viewed you, right? Like here, truthfully, I looked at like people also viewed, it kind of shows, it's a digital footprint of who in what industry is checking out Michael, right? No one know. I look at this and I'm like, oh, it's not restaurant owners for sure. It's not in the restaurant industry for sure. So if anything, it makes me question how he's positioned himself on LinkedIn. And if you look at Benjamin is also another member shout out to Benjamin. Anyone who wants to do graphics, they should check out fit5knots.com.au. Yes, I know, I'm promoting my members. That's what I do. I love to promote my members. If you look at that and look at the people also viewed, you could see that a lot of like, oh my God, eBay. And it's all business owners here. So he has like pretty much thought about who his folks are and how he wants to position himself. If you look at my one, it's funny because Ruby Lee, Lisa Tay, Tima, Kiki, Ahmed, shout out to Ahmed. Like Ahmed is a great LinkedIn influencer here. That means like I'm being positioned with other marketing agencies, with coaches, with LinkedIn influencers, and Tima, Kiki, Ahmed, and Ruby and Lisa, they're all strong content creators as well. So that means like I have positioned myself well, because for people who checked out these profiles, that means they're checking out my profiles as well. So if I were you, I would look about who checks out your profile. Are you positioned in the right space? A lot of people don't think about that, right? But I do. I look at the whole landscape of LinkedIn. Kieran, so at the moment you're looking for a job as a marketer, right? People are looking at managing director of Facebook and Instagram. Cool. So people are looking at you in terms of like marketing. So you're positioned well. So that means like other people who are looking at marketing is looking at you as well. So that means that you have the right SEO, but there's some weird people looking at you. You have health, retail. Are you trying to get a job within the health space? Which was probably a very interesting space to be in, because with the way COVID-19 is, one of the industry that is rising and up and coming and continue to grow is definitely in the health industry. So the fact that people are checking you out within the health industry means that you might be considering a job within that space. That's just me looking at things. Kieran Works, short for my name. And dude, you need a banner. Kieran, you need a banner. Like at least like saying, like looking for a job. Yeah. Oh, damn. I got it right. And patient service. Cool. Well, I have to say I'm pretty happy that you're considering who you're. So backtracking here, and Mitriat, Connor. I'm going to do Connor's one and lawyer. Oh, so obvious you're doing lawyer. Okay, I'm going back to Michael's one just because like I'm jumping ship a little bit. I'm going to quickly go through things and I'm going to use the same format. Think about your profile pic, strategically how you want to position yourself, your banner. How do you want to convey? It could be something that shows your product, your marketing skills, your results, companies you worked for. Do something that conveys like, hey, I'm open for a job, but not in a tacky way, saying, hey, I'm looking for a job. Show results where people are curious and convey things. For me, I always want people to follow me and connect with me. And this is a shout out for people. Connect, follow me, subscribe, whatever channel you have. I'll love it if you do that. And promote yourself. But don't think about the billboard that you want to convey. Your headlines next is, do you have your job title there? I add your job title there because it actually helps with SEO. So you could either do it as a mission statement, as a pitch tagline. For businesses, I find that it's better to do a pitch tagline. For people finding employees, it's really important that you have your job title and what job title that you want to get a job for. And that should be conveyed in about as well. So about is almost like telling your story, conveying your character, personality type. I'm got an itchy nose right now. It's also showing your values, what you care about. It's like telling your story, your origin story. It tells the story about you. A lot of times I feel like people are promoting their work, but the way to be relatable is actually telling your story. Yeah, Kai, you don't have a job title. I noticed that. And have a call to action. So I find that there's 2 call to actions that we need to consider in the featured and in the call to action. So at the moment, I have to say, I don't feel anything here. And I know how powerful Michael's story is as well, but it's not being conveyed here. Like he's doing 3 sentences, but it doesn't feel like you can connect with that as well. Okay, Kyle, how do you want to position yourself, Kyle? And for anyone like Connor James, if you're still here, how do you want to position yourself? Is it as a lawyer? Who's your like target market, by the way? Matria, I had to say, I'm really confused about your branding. You look like an employee, and you could tell that you're not being harsh or anything like that, but you look like in the product space, IT space. What do you want to do with your LinkedIn? Do you want to connect with other people? What is your goal? What I'm trying to say, Maitri, May, I'm going to call you May. All right, moving on. So again, I'm moving on to Benjamin's. Benjamin's has a great banner. It makes sense because he's in the graphics industry. I expect him to have great designs. So he does that. I will probably recommend to Benjamin that he has his job title there, because I find that founders and business owners like to connect with other business owners as well. Question for the about. Okay. For the about, is it better to make it more personal or more functional? More personal with a bit of functional. I'm taking notes. Thank you. All right. Connor, because I see you commenting, how do you want to position yourself? Because there's a lot of lawyers in the world. There's a lot of lawyers in Australia. So what's your point of difference? Yes, I know. I think about all this all the time. Can you check for people who are rocking up, you have to drop your URL in here, because that's how I work. Because then I could click on stuff. I can't click on you with your comments. You have to drop your profile URL in the comments for me to click and, analyze. But the fact that I've done doing about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you have to drop it in the comments, and I could touch upon and recommend what you could do to improve and better market yourself. Najma, right? Some on my profile. Yeah, Najma, she's also. Can you just drop in your? Actually, I do it for you because you're one of my members. Najma. Yes, I take priority for anyone who's part of the trusted circle. Because you know why? Because they pay me. Well, technically they're paid to be a member, so I give priority to my members, because I really like them and I want them to succeed. All right, I'm gonna put you there. Najma is a bookkeeper. I have to say, you have to put your bookkeeper in here. It's a really long tagline. If you read that out loud, it's a mouthful. Your integrated fix this next and profit first coach, guiding you through the business hierarchy of needs, which will surely make your business profitable. Message me for a 15-minute chat. Okay, sorry, that was a bit too mouthful for me. If anything, help being a money coach is great. Profit first coach, that makes sense. But this part here, that could be pushed down into your about. Really, yeah, in here, I want to know, what is a profit first? What does profit first mean? And, how do you guide other businesses to business hierarchy of needs? So that part is missing here. But I love that you have, oh, by the way, you have to send me your 7 V's, Najma, so then I know how to critique it better. But I could tell definitely that you're lacking with you have great call to actions, but I would recommend that you have it here and say, hey, book me in for a free consultation here. And I love that you have cred here as well. So you have the right attributes, but if anything, what we need to do is expand on this concept of your profit first coaching. And who would you like to target? I've noticed that I haven't noticed who you're targeting, but it looks like, based on how people who are viewing you, it's definitely a lot of managers, professionals that are checking you out. Professionals, your target market. You're updating the thing. Connor, you're my key target markets of people who need to join the trusted circle, because lawyers, professionals, need to build content and convey their values, because if anything, as a lawyer, it's all about the trust factor, right? So call to action is, the way I think about LinkedIn profiles is, LinkedIn profile is your sales page that promotes you. And I'm a terrible salesperson, but every day I'm trying to improve my sales as well. But what I'm trying to say is we have to sell ourselves. I will send you the link later. How do we sell ourselves? But really what it is like, how do we increase our trust factor? Our trust factor to convey, it's like, oh, I want to talk to Najma. Because the way that I worked, especially with professionals like you, Najma and Connor, it's all about conveying and increasing your trust factor to the point where there's like, oh, I need to talk to this person because this person sounds legit. They go help me. They go help me with my pain point, whether it be like profit first or this lawyer who's going to help me with my litigation, get my problems, solve my problems, right? So you need to increase the trust factor. And the way that I use LinkedIn is even like this, like I'm having conversations with you. It's showing that I know my shit, right? So that's why I love videos. Oh, I said so again. Anyway, moving on. So James, I'm going to go for the same framework as again. One, how does James want to strategically position himself? James wants to think about, like, he's the trusted voice, trusted guide when it comes to graphic design for businesses, small businesses specifically. And if you need quality of volume of graphics, then you should talk to Benjamin. So Benjamin, what's this missing? That he's a founder of his company. So remember, again, index of professionals. So the way that LinkedIn works is that it's SEO based on your job title. So he should definitely have his job title there. For people who want to, like, if you're a bookkeeper, you put in bookkeeper. If you want to be like a coach, you put in coach. By the way, like, I noticed like the word coach is also a signal for people to bombard you with messages. So be careful with that. But that kind of shows that you're being positioned properly. I find that the first 2 lines is important because that's what hooks people in and click more, because when you click on see more, people really want to see what you're doing. And then one of the metrics of LinkedIn profile is how many profile visits have you got, and that's what you should do, right? So one thing that I noticed is that we need to increase your connections with followers. We need to get up to 1,000 followers. And connecting to everyone doesn't mean that it's going to give you quality. If anything, I find that quality, remember, LinkedIn is a place where it's like a Rolodex of connections. If you add everyone, what happens is like you dilute your relevance. But if you connect with the people within your industry, then you will find that you have ripple effect over time and compounds with relevance as well. So if anything, if you're folks business owners and small business owners, you can connect with other small businesses owners as well. Najma, again, see how, like, I have to say something about your banner, Najma, is that see how you have your call to action on this side? It needs to switch to this side, my dear. I love that banner there. Every driving profitability, you should read that. I love that you have a book there, Profit First, because it shows that you're cred. This bit, I love your smile. You have such a great smile, by the way. But your call to action needs to flip to here. Maybe you need to swap these 2 end bits here. I find that the best premium place to put your banner or your call to action and any text is on this side, where you're like speaking at the moment. We need to simplify your headline. It's too wordy. And another thing is we need to like increase your connections as well to 1,000, because it looks like you're so one of the things we go do is like fix up your headline, your profile, like your about it should be more about who you are, because again, it's about the trust factor and making sure that you care. But I love that you add testimonials into this as well. Warmest regards to Lita. The way you structured it makes a little bit, I have to say that you're promoting her too much. So you're probably better off editing Talita's like words and find other business owners who are similar and show like, that gives them the results. No problem, Visual. I love the call to action here. You have a call to action in your featured. And also I find that you also have like a call to action here. So, remember, like, remind them, like, schedule a free 15-minute call with me if you're interested, and then drop that calendar link there, which is great. So again, I find that it's all about strategy, Be strategic about how to position yourself, profile pic, headlines, your about, and call to actions. And those are like easy things to do, right? And if in your experience, I probably won't touch this so much, but this is where you just like outline your services and your products. And you've been 10 years in your business. That's amazing. All right. So Kieran, going back to you, Kieran, one is like your banner needs to be updated. You're definitely in the health industry, head of marketing at Adapt, but it looks like you're not looking for a job. So how do you indicate that you're looking for a job? So at the moment, this seems more functional, but not really. It's, again, writing first person language helps as well increase your trust factor. And what is the call to action? There is no call to action here. And this could easily be done, like you could edit and curate what you want to be known for, but that could be done inside here really. And you could, which is wordy, but I feel like when I read that, I'm like, glaze over, I'm not really interested. So make yourself more relatable and more human. Let's go on to Connor, because I know how to position you, Connor. Okay. How important are profile I don't understand. Can you reword that visual? All right. Okay, Connor. I love this banner. It kind of shows what you're doing already as well. So you work in legal technology, regulatory compliance, but you know what's missing? Your company's name. There's no logo of your business. Which is like 101 billboard. And I should do that too. It's like I should promote my business as much as possible because it's brand awareness, right? And when we come brand awareness, we want to be associated with a certain name. So what's missing is the name of your company. It's Titan, Legal Software Titan, or are you Law Quarter? That's the bit that I'm confused. Like, oh, no, you're definitely a director for Titan. And I don't even know what Titan is. So what's missing here is a bit of a tagline explanation of what Titan legal software is. This is like what I call like an empty or almost silent or not incomplete profile because there's so many parts missing to you as well. Definitely, like if you're part of Titan, I put Titan here, I put Titan here, and also talk about like tagline about you as well, because I look at your profile here. I'm a founder of Compliance Quarter. Oh, but you're founder here, but you closed it? Oh, present. So that's what I mean. You have so many interesting things, but how do you want to position yourself? Are you a director of here? Okay. Compliance Quarter. You have a lot of technology behind you, dude. Maybe like, you know, specializing in legal technology. There must be an umbrella statement that kind of position you as a technologist in law software. That's what I feel like. Legal technology as well. If anything, the fact is you're allowed to have multiple logos of your companies there because that's how you represent these companies. So you should promote them. But I like this. But I feel like that's what's missing is like the companies that you want to represent. But you know, you're a lawyer, but you're also a director. So you're like a C-level as well. So you need to convey that as well. Oh yeah, Najma, thank you. Apologies for this plug, but no, don't apologize. I love you already. Anyone who's not in the trusted circle, you are definitely missing out. Just these few tips that String has given me now is great. Thank you so much. You're awesome. I'm looking forward to your 7Bs because then I'm going to hone and give you the best advice to make sure that you position yourself. That the fact that you went from bookkeeper to coaching says that you're transitioning into a whole new brand. All right. And Najma, can you do me a favor? Can you type www.thetrustedcircle.co? Or anyone who wants to drop that in, can you type that in for me? That'd be great because that's like my little favor that you could like just like do that for me. That'd be great. I'm kind of curious about you. Look at that. You're a baller. If anything, what do you want to do on LinkedIn? Do you want to like connect with people? Do you want to build up your connections? Do you want to promote your businesses? Do you want to be like a thought leader within the legal software technology space. You have so many openings, but I don't know what your goals are, so I can't give you the best advice on how you use your about. With Kieran, I know that he wants to find a job, so he should think about like how can he be relatable to others. So then the recruiters look at it and it's like, oh, he's a really perfect candidate for this job. So well, that's what I use. And he gave a list, so I kind of glazed over that. But it kind of shows that, the about could be, I find that about is actually a great way to convey your origin story. Thank you, Cindy. Okay, I'm going to do Cindy's one too, because anyone who comes in is like my people. Cindy is another awesome visual creator, and her visuals is so pretty. She's probably the best example of a visual banner, and even I have to learn from her as well. Thank you, Kieran. It's like your go-to for design and branding. How pretty is it? Like, she's also so smart because like her yellow is the same yellow as her background. That is pretty, right? Like, and strategic visual designer for solopreneurs and coach. She knows her folks. You could tell that she's a business owner. And the fact that she does visual designing and she's got on-point graphics to respect that. Your go-to brand for brand, social, and web design. Cindy, maybe you should do my logo. I need to update the Trusted Voice logos. Are you ready to evaluate your brand and create more impact with your mission? I'm Cindy. By the way, she did go through my 7 Vs and also updated it. Like, I have to say, Cindy, you did a great job cleaning up your profile. Hey, Raresh, like, you didn't give me a proper profile URL, so I can't click onto your thing, mate. So make sure that you give a space in them. Cindy, this is pretty. The fact that you have little visuals, I improve. The fact that you have a little click on here with a call to action. The only thing that I will do is I'll add, Cindy, is that you add into your featured of your links, and featured is like your button. What button do you want people to direct to as well? Your button is missing here, and the way you do that is you go to more or add profile, I think, featured, and add a link to people, so then people know that you could click onto this. The thing that a lot of people LinkedIn is that now there's a button. That means you could push traffic. The amount of profile visits is an indicator there's an interest. So you could click onto things now. Like, for example, now it's going to click onto my thing. I have to update that. But you could, people could promote and click onto this. So Cindy, do it now, won't take you long. Where do you want people to be pushed into? So add a featured link in there as well. Oh, Adam. Okay, but as long as you promote the trusted circle and people in the network, I'm hoping to train more professionals on how to use LinkedIn better. So I know you have a good network, my friend. Adam, dude, you work for an amazing company, but you have such a boring banner. Yes, I'm just letting you know, Cindy, push the traffic, push that traffic. And if anyone wants to look at an example of a clean, updated profile, connect with Cindy. She's got a really great profile. If anything, what I would do again is space it out. Your dad was diagnosed with cancer, and then you have to move out. Oh, I got the little heebie-jeebies. It kind of shows why you did what you do. If anything, I'll think about readability and just space things out better. But this is a great profile. I love that you have clean profiles. With your profile here, founder, I recommend that you probably outline the services that you do as well. Awesome. Good job, Cindy. High five. Can I give you a high five? Oh, there is a high five. You did a great job. And you go be one of my winning examples and go be my A-grade student of a profile. And the only thing that's missing is update your experience, but also add in your link in your profile here. And I usually recommend 2 links, but 1 is good. 2 links the max, but push people to the traffic that you want people to do, whether it be promoting your services or booking a place for you to book a time with you for a freebie thing. So interested, I should say that's a bit, you could probably say interested. I'm happy to have, don't write happy to chat, just say happy to chat for a half an hour. Give a time frame. All right, for people who are new, can you look at my profile? Okay, Um, I only have 24 minutes before I have to go to my next meeting. But Cindy, great job. Oh yeah, definitely Benjamin needs a featured link, and here's one as well. Christian, how do you want to position yourself? Adam, I'm going to do Adam's first because you're a mate of mine. Dude, you have such a boring profile. Like because you have such like because why I say boring, because there's no humanness to it, there's no personality to it. Like, you know your shit, I know you know your shit. Like in your experience, this could be easily be up here, but the only difference is that you're not adding any values. Or what businesses are you working with? By the way, the only people that are checking out your profile are Deloitte people, so it kind of shows that you're not connecting with others on LinkedIn, showing that only Deloitte people look at Deloitte people. So it kind of shows that you're not really utilizing LinkedIn properly to connect with your prospects. If you're a delivery manager, by the way, I don't know what that means, but if you do successful digital transformation, what's the success story? I don't see where can you promote like a bit of a portfolio of successful stories, of success stories or case studies. And if anything, people also viewed, meaning that only Deloitte people check out Deloitte people, but I'd love to know who else checks out your profile. No, I find that super short introduction sections is not worth it, because people like reading and knowing about you. So doing long things, I find that Cindy's is a good example because she's showing what her value is. She's all about values, but also she has like a personal story about who she is and why she do what she does. And also like she also does a call to action of like what services she provide and who she wants to help. So that's not a short intro, but that's like enough to convey her values. Christian, what kind of jobs are you looking for? People forget that like everyone's looking for a job on LinkedIn, so I don't know what kind of jobs that you're doing. Yeah. Hi Zach, thanks for dropping in. I'm doing a LinkedIn profile update. So open to work, but dude, what kind of work? Open to work in storeman, invoice clerk, and part sales specialist role. Is that what you want? Like, the thing that's missing at the moment, I'm fine that you leave this banner. At least it's not that boring banner that Adam did. This is like your standard banner that everyone has. So adding something makes a difference. Thanks, Sean. Yeah, I'm just showing my stuff. But the thing that's missing is like your LinkedIn profile is like an extension of your resume. So you need to think about how do you want to convey yourself. Oh, I have to say, let's go into Catch Kyle because this is pretty awesome. Graphics looks great. I actually think there's too many words in here, Kyle. Like if you're here still, there's a lot of, Benjamin, if you're here, I'm going to do you first. Take note. Dude, that's great. Your graphics is on point. If anyone wants graphic, goes to 55knots.com.au. Again, LinkedIn is not an index. Like if Google is an index of people, LinkedIn is an index of professional people. So what's missing is that you forgot to add, I should ask you to add your job title in there, like founder of 55knots.com.au. Yeah, and also what's missing is like a featured link of your pushing people to your 55knots.com.au. Notepad, yes, get your notepad out. Like Cindy did a great job, but I'm probably going to use you, Cindy, and you together because you pretty much are very similar, but you're for small business owners. Look at her structure. The only thing that's missing is featured. In the featured link, for example, like this featured link is our button, so you should definitely promote and find where do you want to push the traffic to. So if I click onto this, it goes to my website. The only thing that's missing is your job title. Like even I'm missing that. I should write founder of the Trusted Circle or Trusted Voice and stuff. And I'm going to show you the way to add a profile, because I have your attention now, Ben, and I know you're a busy guy. and I love you and love your work, is that you should definitely add in featured a link to your website, so then people could see what 55knots.com.au is. So banners on point, add a little title of your job and 55 knots, update your about, add in a link here, and also expand on your services of what you offer. And I reckon you should probably clean up. You're not promoting eBay anymore, so I probably just touch on a few sentences, because this is not what you do anymore, but it shows your capabilities and what your role is. But you should be promoting 55 knots as much as possible as well. Cool, got that? If not, I'm gonna follow up with an email so you could update this, because you're I noticed that you have updated a few things, but I feel like we could pump up your LinkedIn profile for, I'm glad you're doing it now, from 50 to 100 points, because at the moment it's 50 points right now. Okay, Kieran, we did you already. I have to go back to Kyle. All right, Kyle, dude, that's too much words. You need to simplify. I don't think banners should be promoting one thing. Yeah, definitely do give a bootsy to eBay. Oh, I have 18 more minutes. So banners is conveying one thing. What is the one action or one thing that you want people to know you about? Ben is a great example that he promotes his business, graphic design that doesn't sink the treasure chest. That's catchy, but also conveys 55 knots. And the fact is, it conveys his services in a way that showcases his brand as well. But with your one, there's too much words. Let's connect. You're promoting a social movement, and something else, and 3 quarter actions. DM me, let's chat. So that's too much already. People confused. They get overwhelmed. They don't know what to do, so they end up not doing anything. So simplify your banner, people. And at the moment, it's cool that you're on social movement, so you should promote that, and which is being conveyed here. It's great that you do that, but there's too much going on here again. So it's all about positioning. What do you want? What's your first impression that you want people to think about you? I find that when you do too many things or add too many things, it dilates your brand because people confuse. And I transfer companies to become the most adaptable to change. Change management? Maybe I'm not the person that you're trying to convey this to, but I help. You're repeating too much here, but I want to know what kind of digital transformation that you do. The fact that you're trying to attract CFOs, CEOs is great. Maybe they know what you do, but they tend to be results driven. I have to say, free advantages, speed thing, contact me. I have to say, I'm not a fan of your about at the moment. It's there's a structure for it. You need to convey who you are as a person, because we want to relate to you, whether it be values or your story. Then promote your business, a way you transform things, then a call to action. So that's what I would do. And the fact is that you're promoting your social movement. Where is the link to social movement here? Always back up your headline and positioning and your banner as much as you can. That's the problem with a lot of people. They don't stack things properly. You need to just need to simplify your messaging and your positioning a bit, Kyle. So the Connor, I'm gonna reach out to you because I already gave some word of advice, but I feel like there's a lot going on, and it's just a matter of how do you promote yourself properly. Adam Malone, I already did you, but you just need to pump up your banner, your about, have promote some kind of link to it, and then in Deloitte, I feel like this is what I feel like you haven't updated what a service delivery manager is, so you just need to update your profile again. Christian, job work. I'm a hardworking person, keen to learn new stuff or techniques. That doesn't mean anything. Just first impressions. Would you hire someone, if you had to think from a recruiter, a person who's reading your resume, and LinkedIn is a resume for people who are looking for jobs. Would you want to hire Christian? Like, feel free to comment yes or no. If you're a business owner, a recruiter, or like someone in HR looking at Christian's profile, do you think you want to hire that person, or do you feel like they're not doing anything to convey their values properly? Whether it be like the business values, the marketable values, the person values, there's nothing there to say that, oh, this person's horrible. I think that's about it. I'm tired now, people. I think I did this for, how long have I did this? 50 minutes. Bitsy, Satosh, Rajesh, let's see. Nah, I'm sorry. It's not that I feel like I want to do more profiles, but I could just feel myself feeling tired already. So Rajesh, like, I always find that if you have to do profiles, you have to think about your positioning, writing first person about, think about your resume, connect with more people. Outline why you want to be hired, pretty much. So that's about it from me. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for people dropping in your profile. Unfortunately, like, I'm tired right now, in a good way, because I was able to articulate everything that I need to convey. Thanks for the circle, for coming in and jumping in. If anything, the most common problems that I think most people have is that they're not, one, they need to connect with they need to think of it from another point of view. It's not about you. It's mostly about how you want to position yourself. So again, I'm going to repeat the steps, and you could repeat them with me. 1, what is the first impression? How do I want to position myself? Am I looking for a job? Does it look like my profile is conveying that I'm looking for a job? 2, like, you know, if you don't know your 7 B's, like, go to the Trusted Voice blog.thetrustedvoice.co. There's a lot of like insights on how you could clean up your profile and your brand. 2, you know, does your profile convey your personality? Pick. Thank you for the fried chicken, Benjamin. 3, headline. Does it have your job titles or your industry that you want to convey? You know, for business owners, it's about pitching your business. For people looking for a job, it's about conveying the job title that you want. 3 is you're about writing in first person. I write in first person because I find that it's about being human to human, connecting as humans. And 4, you know, call to actions. What does your call to action say on your profile about, or your featured? And also the 6th one is like connect with other people as well, specifically in relevance within your industry as well. So thank you for tuning in. There's going to be more stuff. If you love, subscribe, like. I'm going to be on LinkedIn on a regular basis. And again, for people who are tuning in and want to have a sustainable way to grow your brand, I'm losing my voice now. Join WW. I'm going to do that. Oh, there you go. I totally lost audio. Let me repeat that. Check out www.thetrustedvoice.co. It's my place, like, it's where I help others like yourself. Thank you for Christian. others like yourself be better on LinkedIn, amplify your voice and visibility. Remember, like, I think it's important that you leverage LinkedIn to convey what you want, whether it be positioning, jobs, clients. LinkedIn is a powerful tool and I think you're being used effectively. So thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you more on these LinkedIn Live profiles. Ciao. And see you on the next stream. Didn't say ciao. See you on the next stream.